Hello Internet, welcome back, Demagen here, and we are continuing onwards with the very sorrowful Thavnair section of the MSQ. You all ready then? In that case, let's head to Palakistan. No doubt Vitra is awaiting us. It's interesting that in FF14, dragons can't shape change. You know, dragons in an awful lot of media can take on human shapes. Can't in this game. I think that's cool, actually, because it gives them a certain gravitas and presence that otherwise they would not have. Whee! Certainly makes them fill up a lot of space, though. Rest easy, for all is well here. Young Matsio returned with the babe safe in his arms. Owing to a warm bed, the girl hath already begun to regain her strength. Less joyously received was word of the mother and father's fate, as well as that of their transformed neighbours. How many children of Thavnair must we lose to this calamity? Mothers and fathers, brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, every death another void that can never be filled. We who survive them must carry the weight of their memory as we strive to regain a semblance of what we have lost. Karasef and Revan's babe is a child of Thavnair as well. And thank you for returning her to us safe. What would happen if the dragon gave to despair? Oh, most great and merciful worm, I have not the words to express my gratitude. They say that were it not for you, brave Matsio and the child would have been lost to us forever. Long had I heard the rumours that a mighty dragon had forged a pact of friendship with the satrap, but never would I have expected such a kind and gentle soul. Truth in parts, but not in whole. I am Vitra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode. An isle I have ruled over as satrap, with Ahawan as my loyal servant. Are my ears to be believed? You were the true satrap all along? Ah! Adana. What are you doing here? Hi! I heard from the Radiant that you'd gone to help the people of Palakistan in their time of need. And so I and several of my colleagues from the Great Work came to offer our services. The alchemists have already brewed up some potions for Mavin's daughter. But enough about us. You and your role are the far greater enigma. If you were the true satrap all along, could it be the young Vashon was created to serve as your emissary? And thou didst suspect the boy was but a simulacrum? Rumours circulated for many years around the High Crucible that our most skilled alchemists were once commissioned by the satrap's family in secret to fashion a mammoth indistinguishable from a living boy. Looking at Vashon with that knowledge, I simply put two and two together. I was not alone in drawing this conclusion. But like me, they no doubt recognised that the satrap was using the simulacrum to work more closely with his people and decided not to press the issue. I'd always assumed one of our associates was manipulating it from afar, though the truth is indeed far more surprising. It is an honour to meet you in the flesh, Master Vitra. Pray allow me to express my gratitude. If you had not believed in and given unto us your scales, I do not know where we would be. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, I mean, frankly, everything up until this point would have happened. 'Twas thou and thy fellow alchemists that fashioned the means to unmake the towers. You were the saviours not only of Razat-Han, but the star. Far too kind you are, Master Vitra, but the star yet wants for salvation. Once more will my colleagues and I commit the knowledge and resources at our disposal to the mission of aiding the people in this their darkest hour. 'Twould seem this place is in good hands. I would return to see how Razat-Han fares. What will you do, Science? I were with the survivors we met at Perusa. Should we pay them a visit before making our way back? In that case, might I ask a favour? Nothing too burdensome, I promise. This way. Why can you not just ask the favour here? Why is that not a thing? Curious, isn't it? The burning sky is so ominous, yet the crackling flames here are somehow calming. What a lovely aroma. I wonder what sort of spices those are. Peter chose to reveal his identity to the village as a Palakistan before all others. A wise choice considering the warm reception. He even seemed a little relieved. It remains to be seen how the people of Razat-Han will take the news, but if this was any indication, he need not worry. Oh, Temujin, running through that dark jungle, there was a time when I thought all was lost. That Master Vitra and Estinian not arrived when they did. No, I must focus on the good. Aven's precious daughter is safe and sound, and that is all that matters. Needs to simmer just a bit longer, I'd say. In the meantime, I was hoping I might ask you a few questions. The red sky, these terrible beasts. What in the name of the sisters is happening here in Thavnair? Oh, my, that's rather a lot to take in. It would seem the situation is even more grave than we suspected. Thank you, friend. My colleagues and I will use your knowledge to see if it can further our own research. And with that, here we are. A pot of piping hot chai brewed from my own secret recipe of spices and tea leaves, together with hearty helpings of rich milk and pure sugar. I've made enough for everyone in the village. Might I trouble you to deliver a few cups? The drink has medicinal properties, then? Not in the least. The ingredients are quite ordinary. It's so very tasty, though, and has a way of lifting the spirits. The spicy aroma and distinctive sweetness of chai is a simple, everyday pleasure on our island. Sometimes the best medicine is the simplest. A lovely sentiment, Nidana. By all means, allow us to assist. Yes, I will deliver some tea for you. While you lot distribute hot beverages, I'll do a sweep for errant beasts. Oh no, this is Estinian, not Nidana. While you lot distribute hot beverages, I'll do a sweep for errant beasts to slay. A far less arduous task, no doubt. When you've finished, look for me at the wakeful Tirana. Estinian shirking his work. Look at them all, lazing about, knowing full well the beast might strike again at any moment. Do they not realise their lives are in danger? Well, I for one intend to survive. I'm too young to die. Yes, I'll leave this island behind if I must. But But where could I go? Is anywhere safe these days? No. But hey, have some tea anyway. A cup of chai. Can't you see I have more important things to worry about? No, no, you're right. It is precisely in times like these we must strive to remain calm and steady. I do believe I'll visit my elders and see what needs to be done. If there is any way I can aid my village and my friends, I will do it. Chocobo Keep? How long have you been there? More people for tea? Not in here. Ooh. Wait, I know you. You were the one who saved us from those beasts back at the temple. Were it not for you, well, let's not even think about that. At times like this, we mustn't dwell on what might have been, but look to the future. But what future awaits us? How can Radzahan hope to recover from this? Most of my friends are gone, and I don't know where to turn. Have some hot tea. Cup of chai? Well, if you insist. That aroma has a way of clearing the mind. Come to think of it, we've faced our fair share of trials in the past as well, and no matter how hard the times, we've always come together as a people united. One day at a time, one step at a time, that is all any of us can do. Yes, back to work. Once I've finished this cup. Thank you. Vishwida, I'm sorry. I just want to be left alone. My best friend and I, we fled the village together. One of the beasts took him and this was all I could do to run. All the while I could hear his monstrous voice screaming my name. Have some tea. This is why the British drink tea, for it is calming. This is for me. Yeah. We used to drink chai together often, shared stories over steaming cups after a hard day's work. Thank you, friend. Pain may never pass, but I must press on all the same, for this memory, and for we who must remember. And suddenly, new ether current quests have appeared. Like that should be all but one, yes. Thank you for delivering the chai, Demagen. Did it help to lift the villagers' spirits? It did. That is heartening to hear indeed. The final days show no signs of abating, but that is all the more reason that we must try to keep our composure. Our lives have been forever changed. The people we have lost will never return to us. These tragedies will long weigh on our hearts. But we have the capacity to live with our suffering, to carry the agony till we too join the fallen in death. It is not a surrender, but a recognition, for it is only in acceptance that we find the strength to move forward. Free bird. Okay. So, let us quickly scout out final places. I think this place over here might be the new Stone Sky Sea thing. It is. The Burning Field. Okay. It's a really nice zone, this. It's a pity about the fact that it's the end of days and that everybody's going to die shortly. Especially if I keep on spending my time just flying around as opposed to actually helping. I suspect this is going to be the end of the Thavnair section. I suspect we're going to go back to Labyrinthos next, or maybe back to Garlemald. Matsir is eyeing you as if there is something he wants to say. As you have finished your deliveries, might I talk with you for a moment? I was curious to know what has become of Mevin and Karasev's remains. Oh, thank you, friend. Surely they will be able to rest peacefully by each other's side. I and the people of Palakistan will perform the rites as soon as we are able. As for the child, it will not be easy for her growing up without her parents, but I promise to do what I can. Once she is able to eat solid food, the fish I catch will help nourish her. Oh, you're such a pure soul, Matsia. Well, we've finished delivering the chai. I do believe everyone has a piping hot cup. I can almost believe there's a magic at work. How the tension fades with every sip. Let's pray that Palakistan has seen the last of those transformations, at least for now. They are still at risk, as every village in Thavnir, like as not. Still, I trust we can leave this place in the care of our friends from the Radiant and the High Crucible. Shall we return to Razadhan? By all means, do not let us keep you further. There are still many who have need of your wisdom and strength to deliver them from this terrible calamity. And I will do what I can as well. I will bring rations and supplies to my Kali. We have plenty to spare. Then let us find Estinian and be on our way. Where did he wander off to again? The Wakeful Tirana, near the bridge to Razadhan, as I recall. Very well then. Bye. Yeah, so we've still got a little bit to do. But now we can fly to it. Hello, Estinian. I have apprised Estinian of the situation at Palakistan, so we needn't have that conversation. How do you suppose the others have fared in the capital? I hope things have not been too eventful in our absence. Oh yeah, we left them behind here, didn't we? Alphino told me everything. All glad am I to hear the people are safe. Likewise, you'll be pleased to know I found no evidence of lingering beasts in the jungle and ruins. Just seem you finished off the last of them. Trying times yet lie ahead for the people of Thavnir. Fortunately, they have a wise and benevolent satrap to shepherd them through. Speaking of which, I received word from Thancred not a short while ago. He awaits our return to the city on Al-Zadal's path. Oh. Spiky. What's the palm trees? Hi, guys. It's good to see you safe. Given the skies, 'tis all too easy to fear the worst. I am pleased to report that we've succeeded in quelling the threat here in the city. The beasts have all been felled, and the citizens are safe for now. I've also heard from the Radiant that an important proclamation will be made in the city square, though they said no more than that. Do you have any idea what this is about? Probably. So, Vitra is finally coming out from behind the curtain. I suppose we too should hear what he has to say. To Megadusa then. But before that, it would appear that word of the assembly has not yet reached all the citizens. If anyone along the way seems unaware, we'd best enlighten them. So you can't just teleport straight there, Demagen? Oh, have all the beasts gone? I've been hiding and I'm too scared to go out and look. Streets are safe, young man. Oh, that's a relief. I thought one of those beasts was going to eat me. I wonder where Vajran is. He's the slowest runner. I hope he got away. He could be with the other people from the palace. Maybe I'll see him in the square. Maybe. A spooked youth? Leave me be, please. I swear to you, my flesh tastes absolutely terrible. Why do you know this? Oh, gods, what are you doing scaring me like that? If we're not quiet, those beasts will find us. The square, you say? But that's where the satrap was killed. With my very eyes I saw him crushed in that creature's maw. So many lives lost, such terrible carnage. And you say there's someone else who would lead Razadhan instead? Whoever they are, if they say anything to sully the memories of our beloved satrap, I'll make them regret it. Yes. You do that, mate. Please, challenge Vitra. I actually was not expecting the satrap to die. I probably should have been, but I wasn't. I like your staff. What class are you? White mage. It is rounding up the stragglers. The proclamation will begin shortly. Let's wait here lest we miss something important. Welcome back, Demagen. Alphino told me everything. He does like the sound of his own voice. He's a little bit like me. I'm making those comparisons again. I was pleased to hear that Vitra has chosen to reveal himself at last. The people of Radzat need a strong and wise satrap more than ever. People are slowly making their way here, but many are still gripped by fear and doubts. Hopefully Vitra's message of hope will resonate strongly enough with the ones willing to listen and spread it to every corner of Thavnir. I hear you were able to bring the situation at Palica's stand under control. Every life lost is a tragedy, but you should take pride in doing what you could. When I assumed command during the earlier panic, I did so instinctively and out of necessity. It was not my place to give orders, but I am glad the people heeded them. But now they have need of a true leader, a magnanimous and just satrap who can guide them every step of the way. Fortunately, they are blessed with one such soul. If anyone can protect and guide them through this calamity, it is he. Is he going to make a Stinian leader? Interesting, the people still have lingering doubts, and I cannot blame them. Yet we know what strength has afforded us with one of the first brood on our side. I have faith the citizenry will come to understand and accept him in time. We're a man working towards a common goal. Man of few words, Justinian. That's why you shouldn't put him in charge.
Look! Someone's coming!
Ah!
People of Razathan, it warms my heart to see so many brave, resilient souls before me. Today, I would share with you a great revelation. But before I do,
There's not many people there, is there?
make a humble request. Do not be alarmed, nor avert your eyes. See the one I unveil for who he is, and know that he means you no harm.
Very well. I dare say it can't be worse than the horrors we've already seen.
Many thanks.
A dragon! Wow!
People of Radzat, I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode. 'Tis as the satrap's ally I am known. Today, I would reveal the truth unto you.
Let us hope they accept him.
We don't need to hear the speech because we've already heard it once.
If I am hearing this right, you were the satrap all along?
The man behind the mask.
Vashan! I mean, Master Vitra, does your divine eye really see all?
Nay, child. While mine eye hath borne witness to the whole of our nation's history, to its future I am blind as thee. Countryman, calamity the likes of which we have never known is come to Thavner, our home. Friends and loved ones have been taken from us. I, too, have lost my closest confidant. Ahawan loved this land and served it with dignity till his dying breath. A nobler satrap there will never be. For so long, I lacked the courage to face you. I will not easily earn your trust, this I know. And yet, I cannot sit idly by and abandon Radzat to her fate. A font of boundless vibrancy, this jewel of the ocean. Since time immemorial, has she glittered with every color imaginable.
Mostly just red at the moment.
To this dragon, slumbering in his dark lair, 'twas a mesmerizing sight, and one that brought no end of joy to my heart. This calamity hath stolen too much from you already, yet so long as you live, the light of Radzat will never be extinguished. I pray you let me watch over it, over you, and lend me your strength, that we might face this trial and those to come as one.
Good speech. To be fair,
I do not know you, dragon, but I thank you for speaking the truth to us. As divinities, both Manusha and Riga once joined together.
oh,
So
that's how you
too do
pronounce
I
those.
believe that hand in hand, we can overcome this ordeal and welcome an era of peace.
We've got to go and do some work first.
A sight that would have surely brought a smile to Izael's face.
Indeed.
Oh. Hi, Daddy. Daddy L?
Excuse me, but I must speak with the satrap at once.
Father.
You have suffered dearly of late, yet you must endeavor to look beyond these losses to the future you yet have. On behalf of the Forum of Sharlayan, I come with a proposal by which you, the people of Radzat, might be saved. I say again, I must speak with your satrap. I beseech you, take me to him with all possible haste.
He's right there.
I am satrap here. Speak thy proposal. All present shall hear and judge.
If I have given offense, then I apologize. First, allow me to share with you what knowledge we have of the phenomenon responsible for your woes. The final days. 'Tis an affliction of stagnancy and rot, sown into the currents of the star. Though the first prominent manifestation was here, in Thavner, it will invariably
Implies that there have
spread
been
to
other
every
less
corner of
prominent
the world.
manifestations elsewhere already.
The Forum was forewarned of this apocalypse several centuries ago. Thenceforth, my predecessors sought to prepare for the end times in the only conceivable fashion, by securing a means of escape.
Escape the store? What madness is this?
'Tis by no means madness.
Bit aggressive,
With the coming
wasn't
of
it?
the seventh Umbral Calamity, the true nature of the Red Moon, Dalamud, was revealed. That it was an artificial construct of ancient Alag. But what of the Silver Moon? This celestial satellite is yet another technological marvel fashioned and maintained by ancient allies. A ship that will sail the heavens and deliver our people from destruction. And by our people, I speak not only of Charlian. We mean to save every man, woman, and child it is within our power to save.
Good.
Including you, our dear friends of Radzat Han. Recent events necessitate adjustments be made, and quickly, but we can and will escort you safely to the moon.
Recent events necessitate adjustments be made. What recent events? What adjustments?
Long has thy forum been allies to Thavnir. I trust thou dost not extend this offer lightly. Yet I wonder, is this truly the way? Is there a future to be built for us beyond this star our father deemed the last bastion of hope?
Yeah, are there other things out there in the darkness?
It is for that very reason I come before you and your people. To answer any and all of your questions. To offer my assurances and allay your fears. Though, if you wish the best for your people, I advise you to render your decision swiftly.
Show our friends to Megaduta. They are to be received as honored guests. Worry not. Whatever decision is reached, your paths shall be yours to decide. Until then, heed the warning of these brave heroes. Guard your hearts against fear and despair, for it is within such fertile soil that the seeds of blasphemy find purchase.
It's a surprisingly distinct religious metaphor, isn't it?
Remain calm and attend to your daily tasks. I shall return anon.
We'll do as you say, Master Vitra. We believe in you.
Oh, thank you, tiny child. Rumph. Not a word to the kids, of course. Oh, Nidana?
Oh, you're still here. What a relief.
Nidana, what's the matter? Has something happened at Palaka's stand?
Oh, no, not that I know of. I just hope to hear your thoughts on a theory of mine. All who
Alchemist
undergo
emergency.
The transformation are drained of their ether, yes? What is it then that gives these beasts the strength to carry on as they do?
Good point.
They must be drawing upon an alternate form of vital energy. That put me in mind of
Ah,
our
the
earlier
soul
conversation
emotional
when
stuff.
I tried to explain the essence which many confuse with ether.
I've forgotten what it's called. Got it written down somewhere.
Akasha.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
I
one.
remember. The unseen gift bestowed from on high. An energy influenced solely by emotion.
Yes, yes. In this instance, negative ones set Akasha into motion, thereby infusing the beasts with vitality. I posit this as the mechanism by which the beasts are born and sustained.
Ah.
Do you still have that flower?
I do. I've been kind of carrying it attached to my butt. Oh. Oh.
If we accept that it once shone bright by drawing upon Akasha, influenced by the thoughts of those nearby, then fear, terror, despair, negative emotions so powerful as to suffocate it.
We could do with another flower. Can we go back to get a new one?
You must be very careful. The forces which drive the final days may be beyond our ability to perceive.
So on some kind of emotive plane of existence.
Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you like that. At any rate, I will continue my research into Akasha. Do temper your expectations, however. There are sadly few detailed studies upon which I may draw.
Formulating a new theory as you have is itself no small feat. I wish you well in your endeavors, and pray you take care.
Indeed.
You stay safe as well, yes? Till next we meet. And we will meet again.
Huh. I guess back to the Baldesian Annex. Their solution sits ill with me, but if life has taught me anything, it's that there is little to gain from arguing with Sharlayans. We must take it upon ourselves to find a better way. Even were Vitra to acquiesce to their proposal, just how do the Sharlayans intend to transport the nation's entire populace to the moon? With that arc thing that I've been going on about them building. We have no better safer course of action to offer them than fleeing to the moon. I know this. And yet Vitra and his people love their home. There must be something we can do. That soldier with the radiant there, if I'm not mistaken, he accompanied Iowan to Vanspati. Could it be that he knew Vitra's identity all along? This one. I have been entrusted with a message meant for you and your companions. When you are done speaking amongst yourselves, I would share it with you. In other words, finish the quest. Under normal circumstances, the Thorn's proposal will be regarded as sheer madness, but when the sky burns, even madness can sound appealing. Doubtless Vitra is loath to abandon his home, and yet absent other options, he cannot dismiss the option out of hand. As far as we have come, and after all the horrors we have seen, there is still so much we do not know about the final days. Could it be, as Nidana said, that the cause of this phenomenon is beyond our comprehension, and if so, are we powerless to forestall it? At World's End, the Radiant Host soldier has a message for the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. Greetings, honoured Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I have a message from His Excellency the Satrap. Brave Scions, you have my gratitude for aiding my people in this most trying of times. Alas, matters here at Megaduta prevent me from meeting you all in person. As a token of mine appreciation, I've arranged for a feast to be held in your honour. I had no issue in preparation for the trials ahead. Such are the words of Master Vitra. The feast he speaks of awaits you at Merid's Mehan. Pray make your way there whenever your business here is done. We thank you for your kindness. Indeed, I was hoping we might find a place to discuss our next course of action, and that seems an ideal venue. Ah, and to you, Demigen Blackthorn, there was something we had hoped to introduce you. Someone we had hoped to introduce to you in particular. While I am loath to detain you further, might you spare a moment of your time? A personal invitation, knowing full well your services are in the highest demand right now. This must be important. Or not, we'll save some food for you, so take all the time you need. Also, where is Sid? Thank you, friend. Whenever you are ready, please join me in the Aetheryte Plaza. I shall go on ahead. Is it finally time to actually get the Aetheryte repaired? I assume it is. No, it's this way. I really love the tiling. I mean, all of the patterning in Radzat is really cool. Access to the aetheryte you see there has been restricted to a select few ever since the tower first appeared. We sincerely apologise for the inconvenience, but it was deemed too dangerous to permit the free movement of visitors at a time of emergency, a risk we could not take. In light of recent developments, however, the satrap has decided that such restrictions would only hinder our efforts to combat the final days. As such, I would encourage you to attune with the aetheryte before proceeding along the corridor. Interesting. Okay. And we're going up to... Yes, the Hall of the Radiant Host. And I could teleport there, realistically. Just trying to figure out who this might be that we're going to be introduced to. Is it Hildebrand? No. Ah, you must be wondering what this place is. You stand in the Hall of the Radiant Host, from where our leadership oversees all of Radzat military operations. Sundrop, our destination, lies just ahead. Ah, we've got delegates from everywhere here. Welcome to Sundrop. Without further ado, allow me to introduce you to... Oh, so you're the famous Imogen Blackthorn, eh? I knew it the moment you stepped through the door. You've the look of one who's walked through hell. Sure, but please, you're speaking to the satrap's honoured guest and the saviour of our people. Can you not show a modicum of respect? What disrespect is there in paying a fellow warrior a compliment? All friends here, will be soon enough. More formally then, for the benefit of my countrymen, it is a pleasure to have you with us, so great champion of Eorzea, science of the Seventh Dawn, warrior of light, and all-round good egg, I'm sure. All-round good egg, I'm sure. That's me. What is this place? I hear you've been to Kagani, where you'll have seen all sorts of foreign embassies and whatnot. Well, we've got them here in Radzat too. Other lands send delegates to oversee trade and diplomatic dealings. Then there are military matters to discuss, which is why all these officers are stationed here in Sundrop. I imagine you're more familiar with each of the nations they represent, yes? We've got representatives from Doma. Uldar, Alamigo. Limsa. Gridania. And last, but never let it be said least, Ishgard. They're the eyes, ears and mouths that bridge the distance between Radzat and their respective homelands. We've used this brief respite to share the details of our plight with our overseas counterparts. And wouldn't you know it, all of their leaders requested a few words from you specifically. You're a woman in high demand, eh? And so, would you mind regaling us with your own account? Indulge us before you indulge yourself. Okay, so a few things have happened. I thank you for the report. The conditions under which men are turned to beasts, the etheric anomalies you've observed, you've given us much to consider. It's concerning that the first transformation apparently occurred before the skies turned red. It is contrary to what one would expect. Thankfully, the information you conveyed to Lucia upon your return from the moon has already proved invaluable. As soon as reports of the Calamity here in Thavnir reached the Grand Company of Eorzea and our Far Eastern allies, our leaders knew at once that the final days were indeed upon us. They began taking steps to assess the extent of the phenomenon's spread. Our agents were able to confirm that, for the time being, the skies burn only over the Bounty, including this island and Corvos. Alas, this is of little comfort. Aye, all throughout Allied lands there have been reports of people transforming into hideous beasts. From what little we have learned, these incidents are similar in nature to that involving the merchant Kalzal. As was the case here, the victims underwent the change prior to the heavens being set ablaze. And so, while the burning skies have yet to manifest beyond the Bounty, the transformations do not appear to be subject to any similar restrictions. If anyone anywhere overcome by despair can turn, then nowhere's safe. And that will just snowball. That's about the size of it. Speaking of which, we ought to give those creatures a name, don't you think? Here in Radz at Han, we've taken to calling the first to change, which tend to be the biggest, blasphemies. As fitting a name as any. To ensure clarity in future communications, we shall urge our comrades to adopt this terminology. Our leaders have taken measure to deal with the threat to the best of our abilities. Aye, each nation has assembled their own groups of elite soldiers to put down these so-called blasphemies and their spawn as and when they appear. At the same time, they're doing all in their power to put the people's minds at ease and prevent panic and fear from spreading. That said, brave souls with the strength and fortitude to fell these two old fiends are not easily found. Just so, and it is for that very reason that we turn to you. Pray, lend us your strength and help us to slay the blasphemies that plague our homelands. No, you don't have to give your reply before dinner. I should also mention that each blasphemy seems to possess wildly different characteristics. What works well against one may serve you poorly against another. So, before you go rushing off to save everyone's day, have a word with the delegates. I'll tell you what to expect. And with that, I do believe our friend here has a feast to attend. Spare a thought for us while you're tucking into all that fine cuisine, eh? Ah! You've gained access to the role quests for Endwalker. A separate quest line and story is now available for tank, melee DPS, physical range DPS, magical range DPS, and healer roles. To undertake these quests, speak with any of the delegates in Sundrop and agree to help defeat the blasphemies that plague their respective homelands. Interesting. Okay. So Doma is going to be physical. Alamiga is going to be healer. Limsa is going to be melee DPS. Okay, but I'm not going to do that yet because otherwise this video is going to go on forever. Pray forgive her a bit her rudeness. She can be a bit boisterous at times, but it's simply her nature. Anyway, my apologies for keeping you from your hard-earned rest. You will be rejoining your companions, yes? Do you know the ways, the man? I do. I have a teleport point right next to it. Glad to hear you're becoming familiar with our fair city. We were pleased to hear that all drinks are on the house, so order whatever suits your fancy. With that, I must return to my post. On behalf of all the Radiant host, I thank you and your friends once more for lending your strength and courage to Radz at Han in our time of need. We shall endeavour to fight the good fights to the end, that we might honour Arwen's legacy and serve Master Vitra well. You have my word that your efforts will not be in vain. Hehehe. Hippo. Right. That's an interesting way of introducing role quests. Welcome! When the satrap asked us to entertain a party of honoured guests, I was wondering who it might be. This is a lovely surprise, to say the least. By the way, I heard all about Kalzov from your friend Gerhard here. I understand there was nothing that could be done, but I was heartened to hear he meant us no harm. I cannot thank you enough for dispatching the beasts. As the smallest token of our thanks, your food and drink tonight are Marid's treats. Speaking of which, what can I start you off with? Hot tea, please. As you wish. Pray join your friends and I'll bring you your drink. Welcome back. Whatever did the Radiant want with you, pray tell? Allies have sent military delegates. That's news to me. Mind sharing the details?
So blasphemies now plague all the realm.
Mm-hmm.
It will only get worse if what Father said is true. As it did in Amarot.
If that's our model, then shouldn't we expect the effects to grow more severe as it feeds off its own spread?
Yep.
As if people transforming into those monstrosities wasn't bad enough. If the flora and fauna, if the land itself turned against us.
No one would survive.
Yes, thank you, Estinian.
Here's your order, friend.
Thank you. Hot tea.
May you find comfort in these dark times.
Where do we go from here? If there's one thing we've learned, fighting blindly and simply reacting to what comes will accomplish nothing.
Well, nothing fast
We
anyway.
must find a solution that addresses the fundamental cause. Before our strength is exhausted, before this crisis spirals out of control. Is there something, anything we've overlooked?
If there is an answer, Hydaelyn herself will have it. 'Twas she who bound Zodiac and forestalled the final days.
So we head down to the
Alas,
Ethereal Sea.
We have heard naught from her since the Tower of Babel. Whether she cannot or will not speak, I can only speculate.
I think Hydaelyn's part of the problem.
Even the flower she gave us is no more.
Elpis.
So advised the Watcher. But what could be the significance of that name? It is entirely unfamiliar to me.
To me as well. It meant something to the ancients, though. In our time.
Most surely. Yet I do not recall a single mention of it in the records of Anida.
But you didn't read the whole lot.
And quite literally. It's not as if there are any ancients living we could go and ask.
Not alive as such, but not quite dead.
We could go and ask Elidibus.
Elidibus.
He's stuck in the tower. Wait, are you going to send us to the
I
first?
sealed him in the White Horosite of the Crystal Tower back on the first. Contained within that reservoir of ether that maintains it, ether that is returned little by little to the sea. Naught may remain of his soul. However, if part of it lingers, we might be able to speak with him there. I know we can no longer make that journey, but you, my friend,
We're going to go
still
back to the
can.
first. I mean, that's not... yeah. It's worth a try. I just didn't expect it to be part of this story.
Thank you, my friend. That would mean much to me.
If nothing else, should we learn the First is safe, we'll have that much more reason to keep fighting the good fight. That said, the odds are not in our favor, to say the least.
Yeah. Oh. It wouldn't be good if...
Which is why we're fortunate to have Urianger up there on the moon, working hard to make all the necessary preparations for our departure, should it come to it.
Assuming he's alright. He's not been tied down with carrots.
Nothing to lose by staying the course till the last instant.
Quite right too, Ali.
Indeed. To the last, let us all do what we can. I will consult with Master Matoya and see if she knows of a way to reach Hydaelyn from the ethereal sea.
Well, they said they found her.
And I will visit the nation's leaders and attempt to ascertain how far the final
This has got an end of
elsewhere.
act feel to it, hasn't it?
Keep me abreast of your findings. I can seek out and slay the worst of the immediate threats, if only to slow the spread.
Everybody's got a job to do.
Unease, terror, despair. Try as we might to suppress them, these emotions will return to harry us time and time again. But when they do, remember this. Your friends and loved ones are out there somewhere, sharing in your struggle.
Oh yes, thank you,
are not
Alfie.
alone.
Do.
So ends the brief respite before the next revelation.
Oh, good. Thank you for that,
Yes.
Emmett.
So much left for you to see. Where beginning ends and end begins.
Cyclical narrative. Keening in the earth. If the phone truly has been spurred to action by Hydaelyn's prophecy, then is it not odd that the anti-tower was entrusted to Master Matoya, who bears them no love? No doubt she has a reason for this, and I would know what it is. Me too. Beasts and blasphemies may be running amok in nearby lands outside the influence. So I may need to go hunting. Ah. Well, I suppose I do feel bad on a full stomach after all. Winter skies, blasphemies. Not if I've got anything to say about it. The final days. How far has the phenomenon spread, and how much does it manifest itself in each land? Must find out all I can. Now then, is there anything we've forgotten to mention? Are your arms and armour in good order? Good as. In that case, it's time we each attended to our tasks. And when you arrive on the first, give my regards to Reen. Tell her I miss her. So I assume that was... Yeah, I'm assuming that is the end of that. Is this going to be an 86 quest? Yes. Okay, so that is the end of Act 4, essentially, of the storyline. And in fact, that probably puts us halfway through the expansion, I would guess. Because we've done the 80 to 85 stretch, so we've now got 86 to 90 to go. Is my guess. I find it really interesting that we're going back to the first as part of the storyline. I wasn't expecting that at all. I mean, they've been talking about, oh, well, you know, it's going to be awful if Reen and co are just obliterated. And yes, absolutely. But the fact that they're going to send us to the first because of it is just not what I was expecting at all. I do need to go and do a fate, just a single fate in Garlemald, just to unlock that bit there. Right, I was actually going to finish for the day, but I'm going to record the next bit just to see what is going to happen frankly. I want to see if there are any changes or differences on the first, if they're experiencing the same problems and so on and so forth. So hopefully you will join me back for that. If you felt this episode, however, do please leave it a like down below, and I will catch you all in the next bit. Happy endwalking, folks. Doodly pip. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.